What is going on, guys, and welcome to Nice World TV. We have a great show for you today. Guys, I need to ask you a question now. Imagine you're actually a business owner getting ready to actually launch a new product. Traditionally, creating polished commercials like the one you just watched could easily cost around $2,000 or even more, or even 10 days or even longer to actually produce. You likely need to write a script, generate a concept images, create video clips with different AI tools, edit everything together, and then repeat parts, of course, the whole processing every single time, just to get that real final video. But with actual Buzzy Canvas now, the same type of commercial can actually be created in as little as 1 day at a fraction of that real traditional cost, all inside one connected AI workspace. One of the biggest frustrations with AI video creation today is that the workflow is all scattered across multiple platforms. So you might actually use actual AI to actually brainstorm ideas, another to actually write a script, another to actually generate the concept images, several different models that actually create the actual video clips, and then editing software to bring everything together. Every time you move between tools, you lose time, organization, and even that real creative momentum, which is very, very tedious. But with Buzzy Canvas now, it solves all of these problems by bringing the entire production process into one connected visual workspace called the Infinity Canvas. So you can actually start with a simple idea, generate a complete script, build visual references, create storyboards. You can even generate images and even videos. You can even refine the individual scenes and export the finished commercial without ever leaving the overall project. But behind the scenes now, Buzzy actually combines several powerful AI models that work together throughout the whole production. For example, you have Seedance 2.5 that powers actual platform's newest cinematic video generation capabilities, helping creators actually produce polished commercials, quality footage directly inside the actual canvas. Buzzy Canvas actually provides a complete production environment designed to actually help creators produce more cinematic, commercially polished, and production-ready videos, because every single stage of the actual workflow remains connected. It's much easier to maintain consistency across scenes while giving creators the more control over lighting, camera angles, composition, and even the overall visual direction. Everything begins inside Buzzy's Infinity Canvas. So I'll create a whole new project, and instead of actually uploading scripts or writing actual production assets, I'll simply describe the commercial I want to actually create, guys. For this demonstration, we'll actually use the current prompt you see right here, guys. Once you've put that prompt in now, all you have to do is click generate, and immediately Buzzy begins organizing the entire production inside the Infinity Canvas. So instead of actually having scattered files across multiple programs, every single creative step remains connected inside that one workspace, guys. The script, the storyboard, generated scenes, visual references, edits, and even the final render all stay linked together, making the entire production process significantly more organized, guys. Rather than immediately generating visuals, Buzzy first transforms my prompt into a structured production script powered by Gemini Omni. It understands the real creative direction and automatically generates scenes, descriptions, narrations, pacings, transitions, and overall story workflow. So instead of actually spending hours writing every scene manually, I now have a professionally structured commercial that already follows a logic narrative. So having the real script completed first makes it much easier to actually review the actual story, adjust the messaging, and ensure every scene supports the overall objective before actually moving into actual production. So because everything remains inside the actual Infinity Canvas, I can quickly make changes to the actual script whenever I actually need, without actually breaking the rest of the actual overall workflow. With this script actually complete, I can now define exactly how I actually want the commercial to actually look. So the visual direction has actually been established. Buzzy automatically converts the script into a complete storyboard. So instead of actually generating disconnected clips all at one time, the platform maps out the entire commercial before actually producing begins. So each scene is actually organized into a logic sequence, allowing the review of the actual pacing, storytelling, and the flow of the whole commercial before generating the actual final video. So if I want to actually move scenes around or adjust the narrative or make changes to the actual structure, I can do that here before actually moving into the actual production. So planning the actual story first actually creates a much stronger foundation with the final commercial and helps ensure every single scene contributes to the actual overhaul message while maintaining consistency from the beginning all the way down to the end, guys. Once the storyboard is actually ready, I move into the actual scene generation. This is where Buzzy Canvas actually takes each storyboard panel and transforms it into a fully regenerated cinematic video. Because the actual platform already understands the script, the visual direction, and the overall story structure, each scene is actually generated with a strong alignment to the rest of the whole overall project. This is where you really start to see how the workflow stays connected from the start all the way down to the finish, guys. So instead of actually treating every clip like an isolated generation. But one of the actual biggest challenges in AI video production is maintaining the consistency across multiple scenes. So characters can change, lighting can shift, and visual identity can drift from shot to shot. But with Buzzy's Canvas now, they address this directly through built-in long video consistency. So tools that actually supports characters reference, 3-view references, same character storyboard frames, and same scene references. These systems help ensure that actual characters remain visually stable, environments stay coherent, and of course the overall style remains consistent throughout the whole entire commercial. This is especially important when actually producing longer form content where this is actually super crucial. So instead of actually trying to manually fix inconsistencies in post-production, Buzzy helps prevent them during the actual generation. One of Buzzy Canvas' biggest strength is the fact that it's extremely controllable. So rather than relying entirely on the actual AI to make the creative decisions, I can intentionally guide the actual visual direction before generating even begins. So I have that real much greater control over the lighting, the camera angles, the framing, the composition, the mood, and the overall aesthetic style of the actual overall commercial. This level of creative control actually really helps produce them videos so they feel significantly more polished and cinematic while making it easier to achieve the real consistent visual style throughout the entire production. Like make the coffee darker and richer, add a realistic steam, raising the actual cup, reflection of cinematic surface, enhance the warm golden lighting, and keeping everything else unchanged. This level of localized control is one of the most powerful aspects of Buzzy's Canvas. So instead of actually redoing the entire scene, I can actually make a precise adjustment exactly where needed, which actually saves time and preserves consistency across the rest of the overall shot. Behind the actual scenes, Buzzy Canvas is not treating each generation as an isolated request. Instead, the entire project is understood, and of course it connects the real creative system. So the AI engine actually maintains awareness of the actual script, storyboard, visual direction, and even previous generations, allowing it to actually preserve everything across all the scenes. This is what makes it longer videos feel more coherent and structured rather than fragmented or even inconsistent. Because everything is actually connected inside the actual Infinity Canvas, the system can actually reason about how each scene fits into a larger narrative, which significantly improves storytelling quality and the visual stability across the full commercial. Another key advantage of actual Buzzy's Canvas is that it brings multiple AI models into a single workflow instead of actually forcing creators to switch between different platforms. For cinematic video generation, Buzzy uses Seedance 2.5, which powers high quality firm-like output directly inside the canvas. But the actual important part of all these actual models work together within the same Infinity Canvas. So instead of actually exporting files between tools, everything remains connected, allowing that real faster illustration and more seamless creative process. Workflow also works for short-form content and performance marketing, or even Instagram Reels. I might even use something like recreate the commercial for fast-paced images for Instagram, Within minutes, Buzzy Canvas regenerates entirely new creative direction while actually reusing the same underlying workflow. This makes it extremely efficient to actually test multiple marketing variations without actually rebuilding everything from actual scratch, guys. Canvas is actually built for anyone creating video content at scale, so whether you're actually working on personal projects or even professional marketing campaigns. If you look at the actual templates available on Buzzy's homepage, you can immediately see the range of the use cases it actually supports. So there are actually templates designed for product commercials, UGC advertisements, social media content, cinematic storytelling, brand marketing videos, promotional campaigns, and even product launches. These templates make it easy to actually have that real standard and that real quickly while giving that full creative freedom inside the actual Infinity Canvas. So instead of actually beginning from a blank page, you can actually choose a starting point that already fits your actual goal and then customize it to match your overall vision you're actually looking for. Actually, AI video creation often requires switching between multiple models for scripting, image generation, video production, editing, revisions. Each step adds complexity, time, and even potential inconsistency across the actual final result. But Buzzy Canvas brings all those stages into one connected visual workspace. From the initial idea to the final rendering commercial, everything happens inside the one Infinity Canvas. So you start with a simple prompt and Buzzy helps you transform it into a structured script, visual plan, storyboard, generated scene, refined details, and a finished, polished commercial. So all I'm saying to you is now, guys, make sure you click the link in the description below, head straight over to Buzzy right now and get started. Because I'm telling you now, ever since I've been using it, all my content has been going viral. My content has been absolutely phenomenal, and that is because of Buzzy. So like I said, head straight over there right now and get started. Nice World TV, we're out. See you later, guys.